Hello my art friends. We are doing hashtag Love Summer Art. So, I've been thinking, okay, what does summer mean to me? Well, I am a 10-year cancer survivor, and the summer means that we do relay. So, I love to send cancer cards to survivors. So, when you're using your jelly plate, you kind of got to think ahead, and I've already positioned what I'm going to use as my stencil. This is how I'm going to do it, so I try things out. These are just paper flowers, cheap. I just went through some of my stash. This is, I can't even remember where I got it from, but it is made out of thick plastic, and I have used it lots and lots. And if you're going to use words, of course, you're going to have to put them face down so that when you pull your print, your word will show up in the correct way. And as I hope you don't have to learn that like me, because I did it wrong. Made some beautiful cards and the words was upside down. First thing, I'm using some Deco Art media fluid acrylics today. And as you, I guess you see this here, I've got this prepped with gesso. This is a piece of wood. And you know how we always have so much leftover ink, paint. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to, instead of cleaning it off on my paper, I'm going to clean it off on this and start building some layers, because this will be another project for me later on. So I'm just going to do that. You're going to place your word down, kind of get that centered where you want it. I kind of like overlapping stuff, so I'm going to put that there, this here, and this here. And then you always need to have a supply of paper handy, already cut up to use. So, we want to get that tight and buff off. This will be our first pull. And whatever you lay on there, what's going to happen is, here's our pull. So that one's already pretty cool. Already says hope. So then we're going to pull these off and see what, look at the texture you get from this. These can be reused because they're not paper. They'll be able to be used a couple times. Alright, and here's our hope word. Now, so you want this to dry. I've been watching this lady from Clarity Stamps, and she does this process of putting many layers, and if you let each layer dry, when you pull it off, you get just the most spectacular card front, or something you can even frame, actually, because they're just so pretty. For my next layer, I'm going to use some of this transparent red oxide and some Pyro red. I'm going to use a little bit of both here. And it doesn't take much, so use this sparingly. I kind of want this on the outside, so it'll be darker, and put this on the inside. Okay? And fluid, I don't know if you've used the fluid acrylics or not, but they are very fluid, and thin, very thin. And I really like them. They're very different from your regular acrylic paint. Okay, so now we have this layer. And there's not much left on my roller here. So, I'm going to let this dry, because I'm going to put a back layer of the burnt sienna. So we're going to let that dry a little bit. In fact, what we might do, we'll just sit here and play while we wait. Put some on the roller, and let's see what this does. Okay, it's not doing anything. It just plopped down right there. So we know that didn't work, but that's okay. I'll just use my finger and spread it. This one's going to have a lot of layers on this. You'll see this maybe a little bit later. I don't know if I'll get it done in time for the Love Summer Art, but hopefully. Look how good that's already looking. This is one of my very favorite stencils. I have a friend who makes these stencils, and you can get them. Stencils by Retta, and she has some great stencils. I have used this stencil over and over and over. It's simply one of my very favorites. Alright, this should be dry because the fluid acrylics is going to dry really fast. So now we're going to just put some of this on top. And then you have to be ready to pull it. Now when I pulled the very last one like this, you want to really press down on your paper, okay? And, you know, for a long time I didn't, I had all these jelly prints, but I didn't know, like, how to finish them off. And so that's why I like to share these with y'all, to see, so you can see how I finish them. So you just really, really, really want to get that print. That last layer of ink, I keep saying ink, the last layer of paint loosens up all the other layers. Then when you pull it, here's our card front. Isn't that cool? And then we can, like, add other stuff to it, and I just love it. I'll have pictures at the end of what I did to finish this off. Thanks for watching. I hope you create some of your summer art and share with us. Thanks. Okay, I decided to share with you, like, sometimes how I bring out this jelly print that I've done by creating definition with these pencils, with watercolor pencils. It's really cool, and it adds depth, and you may not, when you get done, even have to add any embellishments whatsoever. So we'll give it a go, and it's always trial and error. You know, this color's pretty dark. I'm using Stampin' Up! Watercolor pencils for this, but any watercolor pencils will work. And I'm going to go around this flower, well, every flower, give it like a shadow. I'm going to come back with black as well. Then we'll blend it and see what happens. But it really makes the images that you're using on your jelly plate pop. I know a lot of people do just random designs, but out there in YouTube world, I stumbled across this Barbara Gray lady with Clarity Stamps, and I don't own any of their stamps. She's overseas, but so I started trying, you know, the stamps that I had and the items that I have, like those flowers I used on this one, to create my scene. And I really I like it a lot better than just doing a random jelly plate, because it has, I don't know, it just seems to have more purpose to me. But I do like it. So you can already tell how much that's helped. And let's see. Instead of going black, but I think I'm going to try this brown first and see what that does. Oh yeah, see, this may be all we need, is just this brown. So I'm not going to bore you with this whole thing. I am going to show you what happens when you do use some water with it. Let me get my water pen. And to kind of like blend it out, you know, because you don't want hard edges either. I got too much water on it. But it works very well on top of your paint that you've used on the jelly plate. Very well. It was amazing to me how well the paint accepts watercolor pencils, gelatos, anything like that. So I did want to show you this, and just to get you started, but I'm not going to bore you with the long details of how long I take doing it. You'll see at the end the finished product. Thanks a lot.